research ethics. I would like to welcome our speaker and our participants today. I'm Aktas Aslam, and I'm the chair of the CLT Advisory Committee and a CLT fellow. It is an absolute pleasure to be welcoming you all today. The core purpose of this series is rooted in a simple yet powerful idea: collaboration across scholars. We believe in the power of peer sharing and, above all, knowledge equity. Access to high quality academic discourse shouldn't be a privilege, which is why we offer this provision completely free and online. By doing so, we proudly honor the core values of FCCU, especially our commitment to diversity and service to the wider global community. Over the years, we have been working to synchronize our sessions with the WITIA Researcher Development Framework. As many of you know, the RDF was reconfigured recently in 2025. Considering this reconfiguration, our current series of 24 webinars is stated as follows. The research methodology course provides a strong coverage of the RDF domains of researcher values, behaviors, research methods, and digital literacy, ethical and responsible research, scholarly communication and publication, and collaborative research culture. At the same time, it is important to know that it offers only a limited coverage of funding and finance, formal project management, supervision and people management, coaching and mentoring, and research translation or commercialization. We aim to be precise in our alignment so that you can target your personal and professional development effectively. Now, this brings us directly into our fifth session of the series titled Research Ethics in the Digital Age, Digital or AI Age, and what is plagiarism, a very key question for all of us today. The agenda is for this session explores the integration of AI in academic research. The key themes for this session are deconstructing issues and challenges in research ethics in the digital age, plagiarism in the age of generative AI, emerging challenges and potential solutions for responsible AI integration in academic research, skills in disciplinary citation management. I would love to welcome our expert today, Cecilia Chan. She is a professor at the University of Hong Kong, an internationally recognized scholar in AI in education, holistic competency development, and higher education innovation. Welcome, Cecilia. Great to have you on board today.
Thank you, Aflas. Can we, since we have so many participants here, can we actually ask them to switch on their camera and see if we can do a good photograph?
Cecilia, I would suggest that we do it a little later in the session because then more people would have joined in and then we can do a bigger photograph.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so I think at around right after you finish your presentation and before we open for Q&A.
Sounds good.
Okay, I do want to tell you all that Professor Chan has been ranked number 52 globally in education and is one of the top 2% of scientists worldwide, according to the Stanford Elsevier rankings of 2025. She serves as the founding director of the Teaching and Learning Innovation Center and professor in the Faculty of Education at the University of Hong Kong. She's the chair of the AI in Education Lab and is among the top 2% of scientists, and serves as chief expert in future readiness and AI literacy in higher education for UNESCO. Dr. Chan's research focuses on AI in education, digital learning, assessment, future-ready competencies, and educational innovation. She has published extensively in leading academic journals, including Educational Research Review and International Journal of Education Technology in Higher Education. Her scholarship has significantly influenced international discussions on digital education, teaching and learning innovation, and assessment practices. For today, we have more than 8,000 registrations for these research series, and out of those, I think we have more than 400 who have already joined in, almost 500 who have already joined in. So just a reminder that as soon as 1,000 people join in onto this link, people will be automatically moved on to YouTube. We have representation in participants from about 93 countries. That's where we have received the registrations from, including 230 plus Pakistani universities and 400 plus international universities. So really excited about the session. Over to you, Dr. Chan.
Thank you. Thank you very much for introducing me, and thank you very much for inviting me. You guys can hear me okay? All perfect. Okay. So I'm Cecilia Chan. I'm from the University of Hong Kong. We're going to talk about redesigning the future, especially about AI literacy and the assessment for education. Now, a little bit about my university. My university is actually ranked globally at number 11 in the world, especially the last 2 years, been ranking consistently at number 11 by the QS World Ranking. And the Faculty of Education is basically top 5 in the world as well, which is where I am based. Now, I am an engineer by discipline, okay? So my undergraduate degree and my PhD is actually in engineering, in machine vision, DSP, machine learning. But in the last 18, 20 years, right, I have been actually in the Faculty of Education working on assessment, experiential learning, 21st century skills, and recently, in the last 4 or 5 years, AI in education. Now, the reason is because I'm also I was the founding member of our Teaching and Learning Center at the University of Hong Kong. And because of AI, Gen AI, so I was actually helping out the university in terms of the policy, in terms of the curriculum changes, and also how to help the teacher to change the way they teach as well. I have a lab which I'm the chair and have won a number of awards. And thank you for introducing me. Yes, I'm currently ranked number 52 in the world, right, by Stanford Elsevier, and been doing quite well in that. Now, this is my team, okay, and so my team is about 20-something people. About 2/3 of them are doing educational research, and maybe about 5 or 6 people are doing software, as I said, right, or software and a bit of hardware as well. As I said, I am kind of both dual background, so I kind of look after both sides as well. So and we do a lot these days on researching artificial intelligence in education and how to improve student learning. Now you will see a lot of QR code during my presentation, okay? And you can either scan it and or take a photograph and scan it, because then that's where you will see the link, or maybe the journal paper or the book. Okay. Now, there are 2 of my books, actually recent books, a few years old. Gen AI in higher education. In higher education, the ChatGPT effect was out in 2024. I believe at the time it was the first book on this area. And then there's the assessment for experiential learning, which came out the year before that. And this is now getting even more important because the fact that we need to know how to assess. And now we're kind of thinking, hey, human skills are very important. Now, I call them holistic competence, right? Like creativity, critical thinking, problem solving. So I think experiential learning is a really good way for helping our students to develop them. Okay. And how to assess them is obviously a different story. It's always very difficult. So here are the QR code for those as well. Now, as I mentioned, I'm an engineer. So when I have free time, which is not a lot these days, right, I do spend my time actually, taking radio in pieces or television in pieces. No, I don't do that anymore, but I do try to do some, hardware stuff as well. And you can see here what I have done is I'm trying to build this, right, and I'm trying to program it, right, and have an API chat with ChatGPT, so it can do all these different movements. And what it has is they have a number of sensors, including eyes and ears, right? So it can hear, it can sense, it can watch. So, and it can actually talk like that as well. But what it can do is that I can show him a picture, and it actually would tell me, like ChatGPT, tell me what it is like, what it's about as well. Now we know AI is everywhere. You know what is really funny, right? Is that maybe it's not a funny thing, but these days you do hear from the news that a lot of the young ones, right, you know, and maybe they're in university, they are opposing AI. They don't like it. They feel like that not we, but like, you know, some of the big AI industry have done something to them. Okay. That they were not asked, they did not want, but they have done something to them, and now they are out of jobs or so forth. Okay, and but I think instead of kind of complaining and moaning about it because there's not much we can do, right? It may be better off to learn to coexist with it, right, and collaborate with it. And I'm not saying it is absolutely perfect. It is definitely not. But what are we going to do in order to make it, you know, we cannot close the Pandora's box anymore. So what should we do? Now we know that AI in a different landscape. It is in music, it's in linguistic, it's in marketing, visual, everything, absolutely everything. Okay. And every week there are new applications. And in fact, people can actually build their own one now. Right. So it's all different area from healthcare, transport, agriculture, education, commerce, entertainment, robotics, and so forth. So what can Gen AI do in education? Now, this you already know. Language learning, feedback, automated marking, personal assistant, research assistant, and even some university and school are using them as counselor and therapist. You can probably read a paper that I wrote, well, 3 papers I wrote about counseling and therapists using AI. You know, what people think about, what student thinks about it. Okay, these are some of the things we can do. But what we are worried is, right, as I mentioned, is that, hey, if AI will take 20% of our jobs within 5 years, what are we going to do? Okay. And of course, we have things like this as well. AI ChatGPT is helping CEOs to think, would it also take your job? Now, this is where I'm kind of thinking, hey, look, we need to think about the future of students and the future of education for our students, because here we are sitting here with these kind of seminar that's running, and you know, we need to discuss what is actually the most important thing these days. So if we are saying that AI is taking over a lot of our jobs, we also should think about what about the jobs that is creating. Okay, so these are some of the new AI jobs. So prompt engineer, definitely AI trainers, AI auditor, AI ethics, right? Machine manager, data detective or data analyzer or cyber security, AI business strategist, okay? Data broker, AI explainer. There are many more as well. If you think about this, right? When we do the when YouTube came on, okay, we thought YouTube is just a video kind of tool, right? Showing video. But then the amount of jobs that actually created is unbelievable. It created people with advertising and new way of advertising. They create people called YouTuber, influencer, and you even have product selling in YouTube. Okay, so instead of thinking in a negative way, because we cannot do anything about it anyway, because it's open, the box is open, let's think about the ones that we are thinking what jobs. Now, for those of you who are in Zoom, I think some of you are in YouTube, I'm sorry about that, but for those who are in Zoom with me, right, my usual way of doing a workshop or seminar are quite interactive, and I don't really like it when it's just me talking. So what I have done is I'm going to work with you guys. I'm going to ask you to work with me at the same time. You should all able to access the chat function in Zoom. And this is why I'm sorry about the YouTube situation, because I cannot actually see YouTube at the moment, and I don't know you can comment on it. But what I want you to do is this. This is your first interactive thing with me. I want you to use the Zoom chat to share what new jobs do you think will emerge in your discipline in the nearest future? And what do you have to do in these jobs? Okay. Now, so first of all, you want you to tell me your discipline, the kind of jobs, and what these jobs do. Okay. Oh, you can just share with me one. Okay. And feel free if you write your name as well. So For example, you can all see child is enabled. Thank you very much. So finance, very good, right? So, oh, very good. I was going to make an example. You guys is, wow, impressive. Try to do it all in one line because otherwise it's hard to follow. So tell me what you think is it there. Human resources management, helps research, okay. Accounting, computer science. I expect TA and RA to be AI agents, okay, at least looking for relevant research and helping. But what kind of jobs would it be for our future students? What kind of jobs do you think there will be? So, for example, I am in so AI safety researcher, absolutely, that's a good one. AI tutor, assistant librarian, okay. I think a generic skills trainer in the AI world is definitely one of them, okay. Design integration, servers, IoT, yes, absolutely. And all sort of emergence disease, that's someone who need to know about medicine and at the same time know about AI health professionals. Absolutely, you are all very, very correct. This is all very interesting. Okay, I'm going to give you 10 more seconds, right? If anybody want to fill in. So with these jobs that you have in mind for your discipline, what do you need to do, right? You need to think about what do you need to do to change, right, your curriculum, your course in order to help these students to get these new jobs, okay? This is what you need to think, okay? We are all here because we are all thinking, hey, look, we need to, in some way, AI is disrupting us, but is it disrupting good or bad? We don't know, right? I mean, in some way, it is good, in some way, it is bad, right? And so now that you have this in mind, okay, you have in my discipline, maybe my future student can become whatever it is, okay? Teledietitian, AI safety manager. What kind of thing do you need to change in your course in order to help them? That's what you need to think. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the next one. Again, I'm going to ask you to work with me, okay? So the next one is, have you used AI to assist you in your work? I won't able to catch you, so just say yes or no, it's fine. Okay, I assume most of us would say yes, right? Okay, now, then, next, have you used AI to help you to access your students' work? Okay, so this is for the students' work. Hold on, no, sorry, missing one. Have you used this for research paper? Have you used AI to help you with research paper? Okay, very good. You're very honest. Some people say no. Yes, I did recently. I used it a bit. Okay, some say no. Okay, now, okay, so, and I assume, okay, we stop for a second. Have you used AI to help you to access your students' work? Okay, this is for assessing students' work. Okay, we have more no, some yes. I think we have someone raise their hand. I can't see the raised hand at the moment. So you need to chat with me on that thing. Okay, so there's some no. Now, I don't know, are you using AI to assess your students' work or not, right? It's difficult for me to judge, right? But if you ask your student, and this is what I want to come to, today I'm going to introduce a number of terms, right? And I think 3 terms. I'm going to introduce 3 academic AI terms. okay? It is sometimes very difficult for our students to tell the truth if they use AI or not, because our policy is yet not very clear, okay? In some way, we are all saying, yes, our students are allowed to use AI. Our teachers are allowed to use AI. However, okay, the problem is they're not really sure at what point should we say no, okay? And so someone even say, I don't know how to use it in my discipline, right? Okay, so there is this thing. I have introduced a term called AI guilt, okay? Now, AI guilt is a form of moral discomfort arising from the use of AI tools in tasks traditionally performed by humans, okay? Imagine if you are the student, they usually use their own brain and everything else to do their homework, right? And anything else afterwards that's wrong, they wouldn't do it. So there are three rationales why they will feel AI guilt. The first one is they perceive laziness. They think they're lazy and they don't have that authenticity in it. So we call it imposter syndrome. Okay, imposter syndrome. And so it's like they're copying, they're fake, basically. They're imposter. Okay. Then I can't move back at the moment because otherwise I lose the time. But anyway, the fear of judgment. Okay, the second reason is the fear of judgment. Okay, and the fear of judgment, basically, if you're afraid that your teacher will judge you or your peers will judge you, okay, then you might actually think that, you might have that AI guilt. Now, the third one is identity and self-efficacy concern. What it comes from the cognitive dissonance theory. Okay, there's a QR code, and that's my paper published in 2005. And these are the three main reasons, right? They're worried, they're lazy and imposter. They're worried about the fear of judgment, and they are worried that if AI can do everything I do, what am I going to do? What is my identity? That is the three main reasons. Okay, and this is what we need to think about. Are you guys sorry? I'm sorry, guys. Are you guys not able to see the PowerPoint? Because some people are
Yes,
saying,
ma'am. There's like a rectangle over the screen which is cutting the right side of the
okay,
PowerPoint.
I know why. Let me just stop that. This rectangle, I see. Oh no. Now I'm getting rid of this, so you cannot see my face anymore, right? And is this still there? It is still there. I don't know why. Oh, I know. It is actually your own chart. Okay, now that's better, right?
It's
Is
gone
that
now,
okay?
ma'am. It's visible.
Yeah, no, sorry, because I have two screen and I put because in order for me to able to see the chat, I put it over there. Okay, very good, very good. Thanks for letting me know. So here you go. That's the QR code, right? And basically about AI guilt. Okay. Now, I have a paper and also a book, right, about this weakness and potential threat using Gen AI in education. And I've separated into three categories. One is the student and teacher category, the other one is educational institution category, and the third one is society category. I'm not going to go through every one of them, but I kind of want to look at the student and teacher category, given that most of you are probably affected more by that. Okay, we are worried about the potential threat like over-reliance, accuracy concern, lack of judgment, loss of personal touch, and neglect of essential skills like generic skill, critical thinking, problem solving, creativity. And there's the homogenization of thought. What that means is basically everyone is using AI, and the answer becomes very similar because there's lack of using human, their own mind, their own creativity. Okay, so that is something that we are worried about. Now, Then there's the interactivity limits because people are now using AI. You can see we already have that problem. People are always using their mobile phone. Even the students are sitting beside each other. They are using their mobile phone to talk to each other. So it's kind of annoying in a way, right? And that we are worried about the interactivity. Now, then there's AI overload. And the last thing is academic misconduct consideration. Okay, this is something we are worried about. Now here, this is actually a year ago, okay? We have on the left-hand side, you can see Northeastern College student demand their tuition feedback after catching her professor using ChatGPT, okay? So they're not happy about professor using ChatGPT. Now that is 25. You know, when I talk about the AI guilt, right, it's also really a short-term challenge, okay? Because as we get more used to AI, getting more used to using AI and it's more common, it's like using the internet, people would then not have that feeling because it is allowed, especially if the policy is more defined. On the right-hand side of this paper, the Chronicle, this slide, right? A professor in NYU told that the students, right, that they are actually complaining a lot about the work because when they change their assignment, the students say they're interfering their learning style. And some students even asked for an extension because that ChatGPT was down that day. They was not able to use ChatGPT. So that is one of the things that we need to think about, you know, because if we are asking students to go from A to B, right, when they can use ChatGPT, are we losing it? So the assessment is also very important. Now, let me go into this a little bit. In my previous slide here, I talk about academic misconduct considerations. And currently, it seems one of teachers' biggest concern is academic misconduct. Okay. And now it seems, why did I say it seems? Because academic misconducts have always been around. It is not new. It just happened that you know, these days because of AI is too much easier. So what does academic misconduct actually mean in this AI age? Okay, I don't know if you guys thought about what does it really mean, academic misconduct? Okay, now this is plagiarism rules. Okay, when plagiarism rules, the normal standard is basically zero tolerance. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, when I copy word from word for a source without due acknowledgement, when I closely paraphrasing it, when I do collusion, when I basically use someone else, oh, maybe I use somebody who is in French writing a paper and I translate it into Chinese and then submit it and as my work. That's all wrong, right? Or using a ghostwriter. That's zero tolerance, no matter what. And that's what we know before. And no, don't disable the chat. I need it. Okay. You can just close it by yourself. Now, so what I have here, again, this is another paper of mine. It's called AI-Jurism, okay, and plagiarism. Now, what does AI-Jurism mean? Well, obviously, it's AI and plagiarism together. But if we look at this diagram, I know it's not very clear here because it's quite small, but you can find this in my paper. You just write AI-Jurism and Cecilia Chen, you'll find this paper. And so it is not like plagiarism. It is not black and white. Okay, it's not just plagiarism and zero tolerance. What it is it is basically black all the way to white. Okay, so black here, let's have a look. And this is for writing. The student input a prompt into an AI system, copy the generated response and submit it to the teacher. The student acknowledge the use of AI tools. Then, of course, it is wrong. Okay, it is wrong. But then if you look at a little bit further, the student use their own ideas to generate prompts with input from AI technologies to produce multiple AI response for an assignment. And after verifying all the facts, the student then use the best parts, make edits, submit the work. The student acknowledge the use of AI work. Would you think it's wrong or right? Right? So this is some of the things you need to think about. And this is why AI policy or AI guidelines are so important, okay? Because they need to think about, hey, at what point in my discipline or for my course or for my assignment that I should not allow students to use AI, okay? So this is some of the things we need to, you need to do. Okay. So my definition of AI-Jurism is, well, it's probably the only definition because I kind of wrote it. So AI-Jurism refer to the unethical practice of using AI technology, and particularly Gen AI language model, to generate content that is plagiarized either from original human author work or directly from AI generate content without appropriate acknowledgement of the original sources or AI contribution. Okay, so here's my QR code. Unfortunately, it is not, unfortunately, sorry. So this is about AI-Jurism. So I'm going to go on a little bit more. There are more papers that is coming out on AI-Jurism that I've written and is currently either in progress or actually in preprint as well. And what I really want to say is, even if I disclose, right, even if I provide appropriate acknowledgement, does that mean, right, it is okay? This is something, again, teachers need to think about. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop here for 1 second. Guys, you do not put in your name into the thing anymore. No need to put in the names because people are thinking it's quite distracting, okay? I need the chat open because I'm going to do more interactive exercise with you guys. So do not put your name down. We don't collect your name for your attendance, okay? I think Fatima already put in a Google link, okay? That's what you need to do. Okay, so don't use the chat for putting in your name. Okay, thank you very much. Is that okay, guys? Okay. Okay, anyway. Now, here's another paper about the line of balancing act. You know, what do you consider cheating? Okay, I think this is something that we need to think about, you know, and what way. And now this is what I really want you guys to do. Okay, I have put together a scenario, okay, and I'm using a social science discipline scenario. And basically, a social science student conducts 5 real interviews. Now, I need you to think about, is this misconduct or not? Okay, the question is it misconduct or not? Okay, a social science student conducts 5 real interviews for a research project on student well-being. Okay, so she did 5 real interviews for a research project on student well-being. She personally designed the question, collects the data. However, when she uploaded the interview transcript to AI and asked it to identify the themes, generate codes, and suggest key findings. She then edited the AI generate analysis herself and submit the report. Now, my question to you are, if the data is real and collected by the student, but the interpretation is largely shaped by AI, whose analysis is being assessed, do you think this is wrong or do you think it is right? Okay. First of all, first question, is it academic misconduct? So you can see, like, I mean, this is extremely interesting. I want you to read the charts, right? So some people think it's right, some people think it's wrong. And right, no, yes. In scenario 1, I don't think it is wrong, okay? If she is not cited the AI, that is misconduct. So if she cited, apparently, some people think it's wrong, okay? Right, wrong. You see, you can see what is happening here. Even among our own, you know, teachers here, we are all teachers, right? We find it difficult to decide what is right or wrong. Some of you would think, yes, it's right. Some of you would think it's wrong. So you can see how important it is to have some kind of guidelines for our students. Because if teachers cannot make a decision among ourselves, how would students do that, right? not an academic misconduct, not. It's gray area, largely depending on whether she add her own analysis as well. Okay. Very good. Thank you so much. These are all very, very useful things for you guys to find out and know. Now, next question. I have another scenario. Okay. This one is for the IT, the engineers, right? And IT students. Okay. 1 second. I'm going to notice a bit more. Hold on. Okay. This is now for the second scenario. Okay. Second scenario. Now, an IT student asked AI to generate a function he could not write on his own. After studying the AI answer for 2 hours, he understood it and how it works, and it explained it clearly. Then he submit that function, that program function, as part of his project. Do you think he have crossed the line or no? Yes, it is misconduct. Okay, so yes, you think it's misconduct. It is acceptable and not comes under AI-Jurism. Okay, don't just say no, say is it acceptable or not, because otherwise it's no, it is not acceptable, or no, it is acceptable. Okay, so yes, no, and yes. And we already using certain tool to data analyze before. Here the AI is doing so. If the AI is also doing brainstorming, it shouldn't be wrong. But the mention of AI analysis at the bottom of may help, absolutely. No, I think it is not academic misconduct. No, not a misconduct. It is so right because he may understand first. Absolutely, I agree with that too, right? He actually isn't AI helping us to learn? Isn't this the right way to learn? Right? He doesn't understand it. He go and ask somebody. What if, I mean, in fairness, what if he's not asking AI and he went off and asked his friend or asked a tutor? Does that mean it's wrong? Right? So here's something we really need to think about. What exactly are we supposed to use AI for? Okay, because he then understand it. Okay, now some of you is now thinking maybe it's acceptable. It's not acceptable. Yes, misconduct. Okay, so it is a very tough situation to really think about, right? But definitely extremely interesting also. Extremely interesting also. Okay, okay. Now I'm going to continue because I know I have so much to cover as well. So here's a different situation now, okay? I want you to forget about those scenarios, okay? Is academic misconduct really the real issue here, okay? So what exactly is the real issue? Well, the real issue is rather students will gradually outsource their thinking to AI. So this guy, we talk about the IT discipline. So he didn't know it. He didn't go and, he just stuck, right? So he went to use AI and he go, AI, help me with this function. I don't know what to do. Okay. Then the function appears on AI within a second, and then he look at it and then go, yeah, I understand it. Okay. Now, is this really the best way to do it? Or if it was more traditionally, we don't know how to do it. We go find out from different things, right? We go, yes, you're right. He took 2 hours. And so we go find out, in different way, and then we use AI. Okay. Now, I think there's different way to do different things, especially for different discipline. I think in his case, I think it's okay. But what if he just use AI, outsourcing the thinking part? He's still learning, but he's outsourced the thinking part. Okay. So what are we going to do then? Okay. So who is doing the thinking? Are students utilizing their own minds to think, or is the thinking being performed by the AI for them? Okay, so now I have another paper. It's not out yet, right? This is under preprint. On one side now, we have done a lot of study, and we know that students use AI for different things, okay? Sometimes they use AI for helping them with grammar. Sometimes they use AI for coding. Sometimes they use AI for part of brainstorming, getting them a title, and then so forth, right? Okay, so you see this line here, this spectrum here. On one side, where the green arrow is AI is helping students on their cognitive learning, okay? They're actually helping it. On the other side, where the red is, AI is replacing students' cognitive learning. So in another word, they just kind of go, help me to answer that question. And then they go, great, copy, paste, okay? Now, however, it is also not as usually green and red or black and white, okay? It's not like that, okay? It is a little bit in between, because don't forget, sometimes they have a book project, right, or assignment. It's not just like write an essay and then that's it. They still have to go write an essay, and then I have to change this part, and this part isn't together. So there are different, help that they need. So the role of AI is different. So what we are hoping, obviously, is where the green place is, okay? But if we don't get where the green arrow is, then we might have, we are hoping at least not the red, maybe sometime yellow, in between. So AI is helping them, not totally offloading their cognitive ideas as well. Now, so what we truly need is that even without AI, students still have the ability to think, make judgments, and innovate. Okay, these are some of the things that we really need the students to able to have. So if AI have, doesn't work anymore, broken, no battery, okay, they should able to do the thinking, the judgment, and the innovation, because that's more important than anything else. Now, so I have two solutions, okay? Again, all these are research-based solutions, so we've done some work. The first one is that we need to help our students to develop a good habit, to build a good habit, okay? And building a good habit, we have a framework, we call it the TACO, okay? Now, just so it's easier to remember. TACO stands for think, for T, A for ask, C for check, and O for W. O for own, sorry. So this is the first solution, and it's how we can help using AI and human AI with partnership. Okay, so the student think first, okay? Instead of using AI, student think, okay? Don't go straight away to use AI. Students should think about first. It doesn't matter what it is, just think first. Sit back and think about what you previously know, okay? How does it help you? You activate your prior knowledge. Maybe there's something you might know. You might straight away go, I don't know, I don't understand, it's too difficult. That's what most students think, right? But then if they sit back and think about the problem, or, analyze the problem exactly what it is first, okay? Instead of asking AI to analyze the problem for you or brainstorm the problem for you, okay? You would analyze different part of the problem. Then because that's a very important skills, human skills. So, and then you kind of go, okay, he's different part of it. And then maybe this part I know, maybe this part I don't know, and that part I know. Okay. Now, then after you have all these done and thought about it, and you don't really know certain thing, you then use AI for guidance. It is very similar of like using internet or Google or search engine for guidance in some way. Look for maybe not the answers, but look for some more information. So don't look for the answer, okay? Set your limits, okay? Ask for guidance. Then you check it. Obviously, we all know what it means. Verify the output, make sure everything is right, check with all the restriction. And finally, make it their own understanding. Reflect and apply learning to new tasks, okay? So explain the concept. So kind of like the scenario 2, okay? The IT discipline guy, students understand it and make sure that he can apply to a different situation, but similar. Make sure that he reflected, okay? And if we can actually produce a very more like so for example, right, if you can actually produce activities, okay, now TACO is a framework, okay, there's no, because I can't just produce a particular activity for your discipline. You're the only one who knows the discipline well. So if you have an activity, trying to build the activity around the tackle, okay, you think about it. Okay, you say someone mentioned tackle is still a fake framework, and framework is always the big general. It cannot be very exact. Okay, because nobody is in your discipline. I mean, come on, in fairness, teachers have to do some work, right? If all the people would start building everything for them, then you're not doing the work. But then you need to think about, right, how do you create an activity that allows you to have think, ask, check, and own, okay? If you are still building or designing assessment, which only get them to get the answer and done, then that's not really useful. No, tackle is not just for students. Tackle, if you think about it, tackle is actually for teacher to help teacher in their professional development. Okay. Now, maybe this is kind of the analogy I have. I'm always on a diet. I'm always want to lose weight. Okay. But then sometimes it's very difficult because someone might offer me an ice cream. My student come in or my team comes in and go, "Oh, Celia, you want a sweet, you want an ice cream, you want a burger, whatever." Okay. So that is something that we need to think about, because AI is the same. AI is there 24/7, and some model is actually free. You can use it so easy. You don't even need to go out to get someone to help you. You just have to do this. Okay. So one of our problem is, and this is human problem, when something becomes too easy, people tend to choose the easiest option. It's like that for everyone. Okay. We don't use our brain. We don't think. So then as a teacher, the second thing we need to do is change the assessment. Okay. Assessments must change. There is no other way. We need to redesign more AI resilient assessment. Okay. And education ecosystem and mindset need to change. Now, I'm a mother of 3 children, okay? And despite you think, oh, Cecilia must be really futuristic educator. No, I still ask my children 2 things, very, very important 2 things, is, have you done your homework? And what did you get in your exam? Okay? We need to change. Both as teacher and as educator, we need to change, okay? Because this is no longer, because the results is not as important anymore. You can actually upload everything into ChatGPT and then you get the results. So doing the homework, not important, okay? And as teacher, we need to start looking at the process. Now, here I have this AI assessment integration framework. You'll find more in my book. The book, by the way, I forgot to say one thing. The 2 books I mentioned earlier, are both open access. They are free, okay? So you just type my name, type the title, and you will find it and you can read it online for free, okay? And in there, I have this assessment framework, okay? How it can help us to design assessment and so forth and so forth. Okay. Now, this is a little bit even easier, okay? My SuperTA, this is something that myself and some colleagues, right, have developed at the University of Hong Kong, right? And it have 3 main functions, okay? It is actually the first assessment redesign system for AI resilient assessment. You can find it. You don't need to ask me. Just find the 2 books. Say Cecilia Chen, the books. So what it does is my SuperTA, 3 main functions. 1, it provides professional guidance to help teachers design assessment that are more resilient to AI influence, okay? It would provide you, is it a low AI, high AI, resilient or not? Then the second thing and the third thing is really just to help teacher to be a little bit lazier. It support the design of teaching activities based on different pedagogies, such as Bloom's taxonomy, inquiry-based, ADDIE model. There's 30 different pedagogy that you can choose from. And then the last one is basically generating short question, MCQ, true and false, and different difficulty. Now, the tackle framework I mentioned will also is actually in the middle of implementing or integrating into the system as well. So the next version would also have a tackle framework. So you can type in yourself and find out, and then it will able to help you to design an activity based on the tackle framework. I'm going to show you a video, right, about my SuperTA.
Meet SuperTA, the world's first generative AI teaching assistant that helps teachers design AI-resilient assessments. In the age of AI, how do you design assessments that are truly AI-resilient? Let's start with the SuperTA's Assessment Analyzer. Simply input details about your course and current assessment tasks. SuperTA instantly analyzes them, evaluating its current AI resilience. Even if your assessment starts as Low AI Assessment Resilient or Moderate AI Assessment Resilient, SuperTA helps you transform it. It offers expert suggestions to refine your assessments, elevating them to High AI Assessment Resilient and helping you generate rubrics and build a polished final plan in minutes. Based on the comprehensive AI assessment integration framework developed by Professor Cecilia Chan at the University of Hong Kong, it also ensures that your methods are valid, innovative, and future-proof. You can also use the Instructional Design Prompter. Create customized prompts for your teaching, designing lessons, activities, discussions, and other learning materials tailored to students and teaching goals. Or use Quiz and Question Generator to create customized questions for your assessments. With the rise of AI, SuperTA is your strategic partner. SuperTA, your dedicated super assistant for future-ready education.
Okay. So that is actually a product that we have done, right, to help teachers in terms of the AI resilient assessment. Now, one of the other things we haven't talked about is AI literacy, right? I know I don't have a lot of time. I have a few more minutes, right? And so I'm going to run through this. So what is AI literacy? Okay. Now, maybe I should say, there are a lot of frameworks out there on AI literacy these days, okay? But my one is actually have 6 dimensions in it. And these 6 dimensions are AI concept that I think this is not even just for students, it's for everyone, okay? It's absolutely for everyone. And even it's for, young children or for, older people that they should know some basic stuff. So some basic AI concept. So what is, for example, what is super intelligence, okay? What is token means? People talk about token a lot, right? What is token? And then there's AI application, you're using ChatGPT, using DeepSeek, right? At least you should know how to use some of the basic because it's like the internet. And then human AI partnership. How do we ensure that we work closely with AI, but we are still leading, okay? And responsible AI, this is especially for those who have the authority, either they're building an AI or they're using, they're helping their students, right? How to be responsible usage of it, okay? And as you know, some people, some children, right? Students are using AI and then they put other people's face onto, I don't know, a very inappropriate picture. That's not responsible AI. So we need to understand that. Then, of course, the AI safety and security is extremely important as well. And so AI safety and security is like, if your data are important, is there privacy? Where is the box? Where is the server going to host? All these are important for you as well. Then the next one is AI effectiveness for human impacts, right? Now, AI is here to mimic humans, okay? In some way, we find that that's really handy. It's helping us it's very useful, very easy. But at the same time, we're also thinking, hey, what if AI becomes so like us or so like things that we do, we don't know the difference, okay? So here is and again, something for you guys to tell me. Now, I have 2 images here. One of them is AI. Do you think it's A or do you think it's B? So do you think it's A or B? So B is AI. B is AI. Okay, B is AI. Most of you think is B is AI. Oh, wow. Everybody thinks B is AI. Okay. Well, some of you, no, I don't do both. I'm not like that. I am not like that. I would have one of them. Okay. Now, it is A. Okay. A is actually the AI generated. If you ask me how, maybe the avocado, I don't know. It's very difficult to see. Now let's go to the next image. Next image. It is the same baby, but which one is AI? Okay. Second image. Which one is, oh, some A, some B, some A, and B. Now you see what I mean by the impact of for us. Imagine if this is your child, right? And then AI generates some more picture for you because you find it cute. As you grow older, like me these days, when I look back at my children, I wonder, how come he's in Disneyland? I didn't think I brought him to Disneyland before. Okay, so you have these kind of fake memories as well. Okay, now I think I have one more. Oh, sorry. This one, B is the AI. B is AI. I know both seems very, very real. Both of them feel very real. Now, this is the last picture. Which one? Third image. Okay. Okay. It is impossible. So B is the AI generated because the shape is same for heavy dumplings. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, so it seems yes, a lot of you say B. Now I have a test that is validated test. It's called, oh, sorry. It is a validate test. It's called AI literacy test. Okay, I won't have time for you guys to do it, but feel free to scan the code and then you can play with it sometime in the future. Okay, there are randomized questions as well, so it won't come out all every time the same one. Okay, so have a look. Okay, so I assume you actually scanned it already. Okay. Okay, so at the end of it, you will find out if you are AI novice or AI superhero. Okay, AI novice or AI superhero, and it will able to tell you like what you're missing out of the 6 dimension of the framework that I talked about. Okay, now I have 3 more slides. One more is a video of course that I have been running. Okay, it's an online course that if some university are interested in, so please come talk to me. AI is everywhere. In this course, we will explore how to harness Gen AI tools, tapping into their potential to enhance learning and teaching experience. Ever wonder how to communicate with AI? We will look into the art of prompt engineering, guiding you through the intricacy of AI interaction. But what about the human touch? We will take a critical look at the challenges and concern of AI in assessment. How do we balance technology and humanity? How do we ensure ethical practices? Finally, we will explore AI policy, equipping you with the knowledge to navigate the complexity of AI in education responsibly and ethically. So are you ready to take the leap into the future of learning? Welcome to the world of AI literacy. Thank you. Second last. My lab, right? My lab, AI in Education lab, is actually made of this particular logo. You see that AI is right in the middle of it, okay? AI is right in the middle of it. However, people are also extremely important, okay? For everything we do, we need to have human in the loop. We need to have human in the loop. And for whatever we do, even we get AI to generate whatever, the person involved, responsible, should always check it. Okay, so I do want to emphasize that. And there is a role for all of us, in the future. Exactly what it is we need to, you have done it. I start off with jobs in the future in your discipline. And you need to think about that. You need to talk to your faculty about this, right? Hey, I think there are other jobs that will become alive for us in our discipline. Maybe we need to think about how do we change the curriculum or course based on that. Okay, so that is something that you need to think about. And then, there'll be a future for all of us. I know there's a lot of questions there, and including access to the tools and so forth, right? I am going to give you my email, okay? I may not answer all of you guys, unfortunately, but feel free to take it, and I try to answer as much as I can. Okay. And basically that is all from me. I don't know, still we can take a photograph. I know some people are probably need to leave, but thank you very much. Thank you. I'm done. Thank you.
We can ask the participants to switch on their video for the photograph.
So good. There's 15 pages of it, so we have to take 15 times.
Ma'am will be taking the screenshot shortly.
You guys are so good, A lot of the time I tell people to do this and they don't even turn on the picture anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it's lovely to meet you all in person, in a way. So we will have to, capture every one.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chan. This was a very, very insightful session. I think you have raised a lot of very important points. I think the scenarios really made us all think a lot. And I think that was very successful. Thank you for sharing all of your frameworks and insights. I can understand why you have so many awards and recognitions. So very, very impressed. I think some of the questions that we have, some of the themes that we have seen over the course of this discussion about the TACO framework in particular are very important for us to think about. And the AI literacy framework really allows us to reconsider who we are as educators and think about, whether or not we are approaching learning from all angles, and our own academic decision making from all angles. So thank you. This was absolutely phenomenal today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
We'll just take the photos now. Zarik, are we ready or are we taking them?
We already did the pictures now.
Sorry?
We took the picture now.
We have taken the pictures. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. I just do want to comment on the question about certificates. The certificates will be issued in a few days since a lot of you have asked about it. Thank you. Absolutely lovely to have you here with us today, Dr. Chan.
Thank you.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.